You can't sit there and lie to players and call yourself a coach when you're bullshitting people. You can't. No one buys it. Sirianni's making some bullshit thing up. A.J. Brown's being cast out as T.O. And believe me, black athletes, I'll say it again, are covered differently than white athletes. It's prime example. People calling that guy a locker room cancer. And you know what I'm saying? Fuck, I think that guy's a leader. And I'll tell you what, if Cooper Kupp says that, he's a leader. Dude, come on now. Angry black guy. That's what you tried to paint him as. Tell you that Philly media, man. They did it to T.O. too. Be always cognizant of the media because the media goes after you. And my next guy, I'll tell you what, I've been watching this story, and I'm not in a good mood. Today's my birthday. And I got to tell you something, man. I've never seen an organization go after one dude. I don't know if it's Ice Cube's politics, if it's his big three, if it's him, if it's who he rubs wrong. But you know what I do love? The guy's genuine, and he don't care. Because you know why? He's like Elon Musk. This dude's got FU money. He don't need you. He don't need anybody. But he wants you as a fan base for big three. This guy's creating. I wish I had an old man's league where I could play touch football and continue a brand. Let's bring the founder of Big Three on, my friend, Ice Cube. Cube, how you doing, man?
What's happening, man? How you feeling?
How's 2023? How was it for you?
It's amazing. It's great. You know, we here, and that's all that matters.
I'll say this to you, Cube. You're the only league. You know, we had The Rock on a couple weeks ago, and we were talking to him about giving guys opportunities and jobs. I think you not only give guys opportunities and jobs, but you give people opportunity to expand the brand that they created. Why do you think organizations like the NBA, the NFL, and other organizations have a problem once they break that umbilical cord from that league, that they get aggravated, that players want to make money off their name, that just because they used your brand, it just makes it seem like the NBA says, no, once you're gone, dude, you're gone. We don't want you being part of it. Is that part of why they're coming after you?
I have no idea. You know, we changed the game. We do what's best for our style of basketball. And so I don't think they like that. You know, we were the first to embrace mental health. We were the first ones. We was the first ones to embrace CBD use. And so, you know, we was the first ones to have female head coaches coaching men to championships. And we changed the game. And so I don't think they like that without asking permission. You know, for some reason, you know, when guys get at the top, like Adam Silver, he thinks he owns basketball. And no kid ever runs out and says, hey, mom, I'm going to go play NBA. You know, they like, yo, I'm going to go play basketball. So no one owns it. And at the end of the day, you know, I wouldn't give these guys jack squat if they couldn't still play, if they couldn't still entertain the fans, if they couldn't still play at a high level. You know, it's just not, you know, they might not be able to play 82 games. Some of them can. But at the end of the day, there's no room for them in the NBA, but there's plenty of room for them, you know, outside of the NBA. And why should these guys just go overseas and play when they have fans right here in America that still want to see them ball?
You know, I'm going to tell you something that I haven't told you yet because I know you've been touring, doing a lot of stuff. I had a conversation with a car company, and I was talking to them about advertising with my program, and looks like I'm going to get it. I'll tell you, I won't tell you the person, but it's Cadillac. And I was talking to them, and I go, yeah, you know, Rock's got the UFL now, and Ice Cube. I say, yeah, what's up with Ice Cube? They said, oh. I go, what's up with Ice Cube? He goes, NBA's starting up a big 3 too. And I go, no, they ain't. I go, he goes, that in-season tournament? And I went, aha. So that in-season tournament, Cube, is a counter to your big 3. I took it that way. Am I off base when I say that it's a way, because it kind of looked a little bit like your tournament?
Well, the NBA has borrowed a few things from the big 3. That's fine. We've borrowed things from the NBA, so a fair exchange is not a robbery. At the end of the day, though, it's apples and oranges. It's like boxing and MMA. It's 2 different sports. 5-on-5 has nothing to do with 3-on-3, and 3-on-3 has nothing to do with 5-on-5. It's 2 different approaches to the game. There's 2 different skill sets to the game. Guys that are specialists in the NBA will get locked up in the big 3, and some guys who couldn't handle the specialist role in the NBA are great in the big 3 because they can show that all their skills. So it's a whole different approach to the game, a whole different sport. That's what we've been trying to, scream from the mountaintop. It's not just an old man's league, because we've seen young guys get locked up in this league. We've seen old guys get locked up. We've seen young guys become MVP, and we've seen older guys become MVP. It's really, if you can play this style of game, you'll be successful. If you can't, you won't be. And so this is what we're saying. We're apples and oranges.
Cube, I tell you, man, I watch your story. I do. And I follow you. I admire you. And I see all this pushback, even in your own profession, that in your own genre of rap. It seems that you've become this dude, and they're here, and I know it's because this goes back to when I believe, tell me I'm wrong, correct me, when you left NWA and you wanted to go on your own, that you're your own dude. You're not a Republican or Democrat. You're in the house of Cube. This is what I do. This is who I am. Do you think that rubs people the wrong way? Because it seems to me last year you're almost on a revenge tour where you're just keeping score. It's like the Ice Cube scoreboard. This guy's a dick. This guy's doing this. And you're sitting here and you're watching these people. It's like they're keeping score on you too. You're almost like an outsider in your own rap industry.
That's no problem. We've come from the outside in. When I started with NWA, a lot of people didn't like our approach to music. I started doing movies. A lot of people didn't think I should do comedies. They told me not to do it. They told me not to do, kids movies, things like that. They told me not to start a sports league. If I ever listen to those guys, I might as well retire. It's really all about, being disruptive. If they won't let you in the front door, we either go through the back door, or we hop the fence, climb through the window.
No way, Cube. You kick it in. You kick the door in, dude. You ain't going no back door, man. You kicking it in.
No problem. However we need to get in, we'll get in, and we'll make our point, make our noise, and we'll change the world. And we'll change, what it is. At the end of the day, it's art. The movies, the music, sports. It's all art. It's all entertainment. It's all, really to, in a lot of ways, make the world a better place.
Cube, I want to take you in a place here where before I brought you on, I was talking about A.J. Brown, wide receiver in Philadelphia, and he didn't talk to the media. And now the media is saying this. And quite frankly, I think he's being a leader. I've been in NFL locker rooms, obviously, as a former player and media guy. And I'm sitting in there and I'm watching this guy, and he's trying to keep the team together. And yet, all of a sudden, you get angry black guy conversations where you start calling him a cancer and you start labeling him as Terrell Owens. What's your perspective, and how do you look at how athletes are covered in the NFL or in sports in general? If that's Tom Brady's a leader. If a guy who's a black guy says something like that in the locker room, he's angry Eagle guy. I mean, I know African-American athletes are covered differently than white athletes. They have to jump through different hoops and more hoops. But I thought that would have got better by now. It just doesn't seem it does.
Well, the same people are running the same media outlets. So, those things tend to stay the same. At the end of the day, you got to express yourself in real time, who you are. You got to step up and do what it takes at the moment. You have to execute, and people got to do what they feel in their heart. And if other people have a problem with that, it sounds like a personal problem. I hope, all athletes, shut the media out when it's time to deal with your team. It's time to deal with, what other brotherhood or sisterhood you have, in that locker room. That's really what matters, what everybody's chirping outside, entertainment, for entertainment purposes only. At the end of the day, don't take it to heart, and do what you need to do to achieve your goals, as a team.
Cube, did you ever think of buying a media outlet that would be something that could counter what we see in lamestream media, where there's so many entertainers like you and Snoop and all these guys that could parlay your resources, your connections into doing something that would be more down the line, that would be something. You talk about frightening people. Get in that business where you're controlling the narrative, Cube.
Me and Jeff Quantis, we did try to buy the RSNs that's
the Fox.
And now they're failing. We had a plan, I believe, to keep them alive and make them relevant and make them, even compete with the ESPN. But at the end of the day, we're still new money. You know what I mean? And to do the things you're talking about, you need old money. So we would have to connect with people who have a plan, who want to see people have a free voice and a free, place to speak and be themselves, and until that happens, we can always fight with these different outlets who don't see it our way.
Cube, two last questions for you. What's on the horizon this year? What's going to be new that we'll see? Man, I saw a video on your Twitter, man. I pray to God Melo joins that thing, man. I loved your post, man. That would be great to see him, because his brand would just go along with what you guys are doing at Big Three. But what are we expecting to see this year with Big Three?
Dan, I don't want to just single out Melo. To me, I think everybody should really understand what this league is doing. For people who might not have made as much money as they have in the league, I think people should play to just make sure the league continues to be successful. And then, guys they know are going to get out the league. Some guys, they may, lose all their money for whatever reason and need a league like this, or they may just want to still ball and not have a place in the NBA. So I think, players that just got out the league. I think they owe it to the next generation, and then to their peers who, like I said, may have fallen on hard times and play in the big three and have some fun because you're around so many great, you know, giants of the game. And so I think, you kind of owe it to the game to play a summer or two.
Absolutely. Cube, what do you got on the tour? I mean, dude, I see you. You know what? I don't know if how many hours a day do you sleep? 3?
All I need is five, maybe 6, and I'm good.
Elon Musk follows me on Twitter, and I go, how many hours do you get? He goes, 5. I'm like, there's got to be. I might have to back that up now because the guys with all the money seemingly don't sleep a lot because money never sleeps, they say.
No, it's not that. It's all the rest I need to really I like to get the day going. And so, that to me, that's what it's all about is getting up early and being up early to hear those thoughts that the universe only give you when it's quiet.
Do you have a pad that you write down thoughts? Because I carry a pad with me because I got a billion things going through my mind, so I'm always writing stuff down. And so you must have like a pad that you still have because when you were a kid, I was watching Straight Outta Compton that you had like you were always writing down rhymes and such, and you were writing down lyrics and such. And so I was wondering, do you still do that practice?
Yeah, sometimes, now everybody's writing on their phone. It's just quicker. But I do, when there's certain things, I do write it down because I just think, historically certain things should be in your own handwriting.
Absolutely. Cube, you always find time for me, man. You are one of the busiest men in show business. And I would call you a modern day, I don't know, Renaissance guy. The way you do your business, I mean, it's really awesome. Acting, philanthropy, the way you do it with Big Three. I love that you're giving guys opportunities for careers and jobs to be extended. You're an activist in a way. People look at you. I mean, Luther and I are boys. And he goes, make sure you tell that guy, make sure you tell him today, Uncle Luke says hi, because we talk all the time and he's a big hurricane guy. And I told him, I go, yeah, I admire the guy and he admires you too. So I appreciate you doing this for me. Thank you so much, Cube.
Appreciate you too, man. Thanks. We always get to the real. That's why I love talking to you because we always, get to the real issue and not beat around the bush. And my man Luke, he taught us a lot of the game. He was a guy who was pressing up his own records. He didn't wait for New York, and he was showing us, hey, don't wait for New York to blow up, do your own thing. We learned a lot from Luke, and he's definitely a pioneer, changed the game in a lot of ways.
Hey, Cube, I got to tell you one last thing out the door here. So years ago, I was working security with Jerome Brown for a 2 Live Crew, and it was down in South Florida. And my grandmother goes, because I kept telling her she didn't know anything about 2 Live Crew or anything. And I'm working security. I mean, Luke could go, you ain't white, Sileo, you're Italian, so it's all good. Come over here. We're good. It's all right. So I'm working security. My grandmother goes, were you at Seabreeze with that guy, Luther Campbell? Yeah, he goes, he got arrested. I said, yeah, I know. She's like, what was he? What are you? And I'm like, it's all right. It's all right. I just remembered those foundation years of rap when Ice Cube and you guys were starting it with NWA. Tupac was down there with him. He was boys with Tupac and all those guys. And even Suge, man. I played football against Suge when he was with the Rams. How's that? That's crazy when he was with the Rams and that. And then how he got the name Sugar Bear with his coach at UNLV. His real name is Sugar Bear. They just dropped the sugar and named him Suge, or the bear they dropped, because he played at UNLV and for Harvey Hyde. And I'm sitting, Harvey Hyde goes, you want to meet Suge? And I met him years ago. So I've been connected with that group and all you guys for a long time, and I appreciate this. Have a great next couple months. I'll harass you in about 6 months from now. Cube, thank you so much, my friend.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You got it. The legendary Ice Cube. We appreciate him coming aboard with us here. Thank you so much. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Eat chicken wings, buy Hooters things. Christmas is near. Shop, have a beer. Christmas shopping shouldn't be hard. Give your friends a Hooters gift card.
This year, stuff their stockings and yours too with a one-size-fits-all gift card. Buy a $25 Hooters gift card and receive a $5 Santa's bonus card. Make it Hooters for the holidays.
Eat chicken wings, buy Hooters things. Christmas is near. Gift cards are here. Good at Hooters everywhere now. Hooters gifts are always favored.